Hey Sages, and welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm so excited to see your spread because I really sense an energetic uplift happening for you guys. I really sense that you guys will have the opportunity to fully come into your element this month. So I see that you guys have some kind of new creative project that you're working on, and I see that you're ready to say goodbye to the past, you're ready to say goodbye to the lies and illusions, and you're ready to turn your back on any of the systems, cycles, or structures that no longer serve you at this point in time. And it makes me a proud tarot reader to see this energy coming forward for you guys. Honestly, I feel that Sages are having the best month out of all the zodiac signs this month. In my readings, it may be different for other tarot readers. I've not watched any tarot readers this month and in a while on YouTube, actually, because my own business has taken up so much of my tarot energy. So I don't know how this compares to other readers, but I really feel that Sages are having a beautiful, beautiful month if they let themselves. And what makes this month so beautiful for you guys? Well, it is actually the fact that there are some heavier energies indicated by the Seven of Wands, the Hermit, and the Moon. Kind of Judgment, but I feel that Judgment is good. But it's like those heavier energies give you something to compare this to. It's like as you finally break out of your shell, as you finally sort of explode and manifest in your philosophical, exuberant, kind of exaggerative way, you have something to compare it to, and you have your kind of riddled heavy past to look back to as comparison, or to use as a launching pad into this new, more vital, more exuberant version of yourself. You guys have a great balance of color energy. You've got some vibrant yellows, you've got some grays, you've got some orange, you've got some blues coming forward, and it's like there's not too much yellow, there's not too much gray, there's not too much blue. It's a really nice mixture of energies, meaning that your chakras and what they represent have come into more alignment than they have in the past for you guys. So not 100% of Sages are feeling this way yet. In fact, probably the majority of you may have come to this tarot reading expecting to hear how difficult this month will be or how difficult the past is for you. And it's true, you are coming from something. I mean, having the Hermit in your reading and the Moon, it's like there was something potentially traumatic that happened to you that made you have to go within. But the thing is you are not a Cancer Sag, unless some of you Sages have Cancer out in your chart out there, in which case I'm sorry for you. I'm just kidding. That's actually a pretty powerful mixture, but always very indecisive, potentially. My point being is that you guys don't tend to stay in your shell, and don't really even tend to have a shell, per se, unless you've got that Cancer energy or that Scorpio energy. However, whatever shell or boundaries or obstacles that you had that made you go within are breaking loose right now. And it seems that, as I said, you guys as Sagittarius can finally embrace your true nature, which is to be Jupiterian, which is to break past those obstacles and embrace luck and life force to push you through to the next level, to the next playing field. And it really does seem like life is your playing field this month. And I'm just so excited for you guys, and I'm kind of rambling, and I'm about to get into this reading from the week-to-week standpoint to make it more clear for you. And it's actually a nice shift in energy for me as a reader, because almost all the other readings have been a bit more heavy this month. And, you know, if this isn't resonating for you and you feel that you need something that has a little bit more heavy energy, be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising sign, as you know, or any other cluster of or stellium of planets that you may have. But anyway, let's get down to this, Sag. So in the first week, you guys have Strength reversed, rooted down by the Nine of Pentacles. So, whoa, you burst into April, and you all of a sudden have, like, this fiery volition and energetic drive to accomplish a goal. It looks like for those of you who are artists or creative individuals, you suddenly realize what direction you need to go with your new project. You suddenly realize how reachable your project is, and even if it's completely out of reach, you still go for it. And this is beautiful because during Aries time, which is what we're stepping into after the equinox, Sages can be really lucky because you are really comfortable with this fiery Aries energy. Now, in the first week, don't be too hard on yourself because there is potentially a possibility for burnout, and maybe also in the fourth week as well. So just, you know, pace yourself if you feel a burnout coming on, because I don't feel like it lasts very long for you, but it's just something to keep a watchful eye for. But I don't really see that being a reality for many of you, other than the fact of having Strength reversed, so it might not feel like you quite have the energy to reach for this difficult goal or to reach for the ceiling of this creative project that you're working on. But you may feel a little bit clumsy. You may feel like you're not handling any issues in your life with grace, or you might feel like you're just not very suave right now. And that's okay, because Sagittarius is just a clumsy sign. It's a clumsy archetype. You guys have usually really long extremities, and you're usually moving really quickly and bounding around, so it's okay to be a bit clumsy, and that can be taken physically or emotionally. You guys tend to kind of be lanky and bound around as it relates to other people's feelings as well, but that's fine right now. The other signs could actually benefit a little bit from less care and less precision and grace relating to feelings and shadow work and reflection and emotions and all that stuff that we're always talking about in the spiritual community, which honestly this time of the year is quite destructive if not done properly. So, continue to bound, Sages. Like, continue to embrace that aspect of your nature that really can heal other people by being a bit carefree. I don't mean careless, but it is careless, but it's carefree in the way that you address the problem, you walk around it, you bound around it, and you're a little bit clumsy with it. And it's like through that scattering of the energy, it breaks and just kind of fades away into the ether. And this is really healing to other people. So don't be hard on yourself if you're not feeling like graceful or precise or like you've tamed other people's beasts. Because if you can't tame other people's beasts right now, Sag, just look to yourself, because you have all the energy that you need. That is rooted down by the Nine of Pentacles, which says to me that your money is looking up as well. Again, for those of you embarking on any kind of creative project or pursuing some kind of new intellectual property in like your workplace or relating to the way that you make money, it seems to really profit, and it seems to really make your surroundings more grand, as if you receive some kind of big payday and you can suddenly buy the things that you've wanted for a very long time. I think that it's a really good time to reward yourself, kind of like Scorpio's Sag. You need to reward yourself and buy something new. And again, obviously, depending on your situation, like, don't let me like tempt you into debt or something just for the sake of buying something new. But it really does seem like getting something new, it doesn't even have to be buying something or purchasing something, but surrounding yourself with something that's different and doesn't remind you of the past is very healing right now, because we are in Aries time. We have started over, and just nice new things. Again, even if they don't even cost money, maybe you DIY something or make something for yourself, or you find something at like a secondhand store that's just a treasure. Just focusing on these things can really cause a lot of cellular healing to happen. Because Aries is like the baby, and babies like focus on shiny things and they just become completely transfixed by these things. And it's sort of a way of moving past something that you may have been dwelling on that's unhealthy. But first week is beautiful for you guys. New energy, solar plexus energy, and really amazing people around you. Like, people around you, I feel, want to be you in the first week. So do watch out for leech type of energy, because you are feeling drained in the second week. You're in the Seven of Wands, rooted down by the Hermit territory. And it seems that this aura that you put off in the first week really pulls in all the people who can't have this right now. And maybe, okay, so I see like some of the Sages out there have really increased their lifestyle. Like, maybe you did get the raise or the promotion, and all of a sudden you can't afford the really nice things, and other people around you who can't right now would like to experience this way of living. And I mean, it's okay if you have friends to like obviously treat your friends, like, but know who's a leech energy and who's just kind of in it for the ride, or who would do the same thing for you if they were in your place. This is one of the instances where maybe bounding and, not caring and just putting it to the wind is not the best, because you may not realize who's trying to leech off of you. So just have an open eye to that, because again, you're surrounded by people in the second week. This magnetic aura that you give off in the first week pulls in everybody. And the key is, though, that you are on higher ground from these people, but there is a potential for conflict with the Seven of Wands always. And you can win this conflict, but it's not where you're wanting to spend your energy. And arguably, you shouldn't be spending your energy there. And I don't think you will, because that is rooted down by the Hermit, and it makes you kind of want to just distance yourself from people and to kind of start working on the next page or the more inanimate goals in your life. And that's very supported right now. And I mean, it's pretty amazing, though, having the Hermit here as well. You're in such daytime energy, you're in such brightness and sun type of energy, yet you still have the Hermit. So it's like you're the Hermit and not in the darkness, but you're like carrying around your light in the daylight. And it's this really magnetic sort of muse type of energy that you're projecting to the world. And it really is something that is amazing and gorgeous. So keep doing it, Sages. Moving into the third week, you guys have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, rooted down by Judgment. So, whoa, suddenly you step into the more major arcana. And by the way, you do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana this month. So, April is very memorable, and April is very important on your 2017 journey. So, you might all of a sudden feel like your luck has changed, but it hasn't actually, because what you have is too high vibrational right now to be completely daunted by the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So it seems like maybe somebody around you goes through some kind of difficult thing and you're expected to be there for them. And that's good if you feel that you need that. This could also just be something that has only to do with you. Maybe despite getting all the monetary gain, despite feeling like you're in the sunlight, you're worried for the future for when something may change, or you're worried that you can't keep up this vibrational level. And that is kind of a juxtaposition of, ascension and sort of rising to the next level vibration. It's like once you get there, you realize how easy it is to fall, and you start to get maybe a bit of anxiety that you can't maintain this. And again, that's where you need to disconnect a little bit, Sages, because staying at that level of ascension that the majority of you are at, and again, I'll talk to the ones who might be struggling a little bit more later, but staying at this level that the majority of you are at does not take conscious effort. It takes trusting in the formula and just continuing about in your sort of eccentric roundabout way, and that maintains it. So you don't really have to worry. It's the worrying that takes it down. And it seems that you're given the opportunity with Judgment rooting that down to end this anxiety pattern that you've been dealing with, to end any kind of insomnia or any kind of unhealthy mental activity on your part. You can completely evolve out of it in the third week in April. And it has to be by conscious choice, through accepting a leechy person into your life, through accepting a traumatic situation, by not accepting red flags, and by not ending a codependent relationship if that's happening. Through patterns like that, you can evolve downwards. So Judgment always allows you to go one way or another. You can evolve upwards or downwards, or choose to continue a pattern of stagnation or become more adaptable. And Page of Wands is your central theme, so I feel that you guys are choosing to up the adaptability. I think that really what you guys are striving for right now through this is to be able to thrive in whatever circumstance the universe throws at you. And again, so many other signs could learn from you at this point in time, because other signs are being killed by not being adaptable, by trying to resist new circumstances. And you are a mutable sign, Sag, so it comes more natural, along with Pisces, Virgo, and Gemini. You guys are all the mutable signs, so it's easier to be adaptable. And having energy like the Page of Wands make you like, okay, just give me a situation and I'll adapt to it. I'm like a Rubik's Cube, right? And oh my gosh, it makes me proud to have a bit of Sagittarius. Not a bit, I have quite a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, so I feel this to some degree. And I'm like, yay, finally Sages are, letting it click, are kind of letting the gears turn and kind of come into a place where they're just working in synergy and they're being synergetic with one another. So congratulations, Sag. I'm giving you a round of applause. At the same time, you guys are a natural born teacher, so I feel like that's okay. It's okay to help some people who might be struggling, but you don't need, again, to be attracting in the leech type of energy who aim to absorb this out of you like a psychic vampire, like those Scorpios and those Cancers that some of you may be dealing with. I see that some of you guys have like moon type of energy, which can be Scorpios, Cancers, or Pisces. It can also be a Gemini, but it's usually a water sign, specifically Cancer. And I'm not putting down Cancers at all. I've got some Cancer in my chart as well, so I am not putting them down, but they are struggling a lot right now. And there are two types of Cancers right now. One is willing to be sort of a student and apprentice type of energy and not take your energy. Some Cancers may be more, that psychic vampirism type of archetype, and Scorpios as well. So just beware of that and look for that. And my point being, let's see, where was I getting? I kind of went off on a tangent there. So you have the option to evolve, you have the option to change where you're at, and you're becoming more adaptable, and you want these new circumstances to adapt to, but why haven't they come yet? Because you're moving into the fourth week with the moon rooted down by the Three of Wands reversed. So Three of Wands has been playing a big role this month as well. So who did you turn your back on, Sag? Who turned their back on you? It's a good thing one way or another, but how do I want to say this? It's like you have to be very honest. You have to be honest with yourself and those around you, because adaptability, it becomes through honesty. And I feel that that's what this reading is trying to tell you. You become more adaptable by being honest and by expecting that from others, but not in a shadow type of way, like expecting that from others, and if they don't follow through with you, you turn your back and you just walk the other way, not you try to manipulate or you try to throw something back at them in a vengeful way. If you're dealing with manipulating people or deceitful people right now, it's a matter of turning your back, because they want something from you to corkscrew. They want something from you to manipulate and to work with. So if you don't give them that, they have nothing. And again, with this desire for you guys to be adaptable, with this desire for you guys to really take any situation given to you by the universe head on, by the horns, some of you might just be raring to go so much that you're like, yeah, sure, you want to come at me? We can fight. We can go at war with each other and I will win, and you will win, Sag. This is true. But how much damage will you do to yourself in that process? Sag is one of those archetypes and energies that will do anything for victory. You have an extremely competitive spirit, especially in Aries time, which is probably the only sign that has more competitive spirit than you, because yours is more at a mental level than Aries. Yours is more philosophical and spiritual than Aries. Aries is just pure physical drive to compete. Sag has this too. And if you're looking for competition right now, make it healthy. Do a 5K, run a marathon, or start a new diet or health regime. That could be really good for you guys as well. You have a lot of transformative energy with judgment. If you've been wanting to lose a little bit of weight or bulk up or start some kind of detox that really enhances your appearance, you're very supported. Channel that energy this way instead of going head to head with somebody who can't handle you, one, and will crumble, two, but at the same time will take a lot of your energy. You have the moon, which is a very absorbing energy. So your physical vitality is great, but you don't have a lot. It's not that you don't have a lot of emotional or mental vitality, but the types of signs who are on this level that would try to take this from you are definitely a few like steps, if not like yards or miles ahead in that way. And it's not healthy, but it's just the reality. So be the bigger person, turn your back on it versus engaging, because you will come through realizing that you actually didn't adapt by engaging with other people. You're going to realize that the universe threw you a situation where it wanted you to adapt to being a peacemaker or to turning your back and, doing something really productive, like going for that huge creative goal that you have never been able to accomplish before, but now all of a sudden you can. And then it's like by accomplishing that goal and turning your back on this other person who is trying to manipulate you, you win in both ways. Not only do you accomplish your own goal, but that for that person who wants to drain you of your energy to see you succeed in that way also doubles back their energy at themselves. So by turning your back and pursuing your own stuff, Sag, you win all around. Or you could go head to head with this person and use all the energy that you needed to manifest your goals to take down this one individual who is trying to absorb your energy, yes. But I feel that, again, and I really think that is the juxtaposition of this, exactly the root of the whole thing, is the universe is seeing if you can adapt to being the peacemaker, if you can adapt to not engaging in some kind of confrontation. And, I just want to see you guys succeed and shine right now and do this amazing project that you're working on, because Saturn is in your sign and it's been in your sign for a while now. It won't be there much longer. So there's something that you owe yourself right now, Sag. There's some kind of follow-up or follow-through that you've been trying to get for a long time, and it would be really tempting to just, lie down, and very tempting to turn your back on that. But Saturn is like, no, you have structured, you have prepared for this your entire life, or for a very long time in this version of yourself, and Saturn gives you the ability to actually have no limitations in Sag, which is a very strange concept because Saturn is all about limitations. But Saturn is right now in your sign, which is ruled by Jupiter, which is excess and no limitations. So Saturn now gives you the ability to structure the idea of no limitations, which is a strange thing to think about. Like, take a moment to breathe that in and think about what it might mean to structure something limitless. Okay, so Sagittarius can be making something right now that may not get a lot of pay right this second. I mean, it can, but it's more short term. I mean, you guys have 9 of Pentacles, and that's really all with money. And Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So I see you guys making a lot of money this month, sure, but when it comes to the long term, when it comes to the rest of your life, I mean, it's just kind of a drop in the hat. But Saturn and Sag gives you the opportunity to be building something right now that does last for even generations, possibly, so, or longer, depending. That all of that depends. But yeah, focus your energy on that and turn your back on things that try to take that away from you. You guys are really sort of the protagonist of the zodiac right now, I feel, and I feel that the rest of the zodiac will be watching you very closely, and it's a very nice time to watch you and to learn from you, especially from the Sagittarius who are adapting and who are learning how to structure the limitless and currently taking on that kind of wavelength and that kind of huge effort. The Sagittarius who can regiment right now, the Sagittarius, and again, normal regimentation, the whole idea of 9 to 5 work, and then working on your business from like 5 to 8, then from like 8 to 10. I don't know, when you're like structuring so constantly every single day and it's like you do the same thing every day, that's been a bit impossible with Saturn and Sagittarius. For those of you Sagittarius who have accomplished this, do comment below, because I would like to know if that's been easy or very difficult for you, or if you have found a way to make that easy. I feel that you can really share a lot and help other people. You're definitely in the minority if you have been able to regiment, but at this point in time, regimentation for Sagittarius becomes just following through on this very tall goal. And maybe it's not something that you do every day. Maybe it's not something that you do at a specific time every single day. If it is, you're great. But if not, it's a matter of doing it. And maybe you have to sleep a long time, or maybe you have to, I don't know, exercise more, and you feel like you're not devoting enough time. But it's like the smallest energy and the smallest input really does give you a lot of reward right now. As long as you can do something that's been in the works for a long time, it's, again, not the best time to take on something new and crazy. It's okay to take on like a new hobby or something in equinox time, and in the future this can profit you. But as for what you're working on right now, Sag, there's something from your past that has been in the works for a long time. That's where the energy is with Saturn always. It's not so much about starting something new and grandiose that has sudden benefit. That's a more Jupiter energy. Despite Saturn being in your sign, it is still Saturn, and you will still have to honor that and do something that you've been working on for a long time. But it's like that something that you've been working on for a long time branches out into new things with the Sagittarian energy, and it can get really quick gains and successes that can be structured and become systematic. And that's the goal, is to make systematic structures out of these sudden sort of lottery-like sort of income, or I guess, sorry, my train of thought. So income and anything that you're gaining right now, these gains, these excesses, it's time to make them systematic through Saturn. And that's what your challenge is. That's what your goal is for this month, Sag is. And also, just as a side note, you're also getting more vital energy to pursue romance as well if you choose. Again, be careful. Just be careful of the water signs right now. I'm a water sign, so any of the water signs watching this video, do not get mad at me, but water signs need their time to do them, and water signs need to not be relying on other people right now. Water signs do not need anything to muddy their waters even further. They have finally been given the opportunity to start over, and they don't need to be leeching other people, because that's again lower evolved water signs, and I don't include myself in lower evolved water signs, but I can accept that I just need time to be separate from other people, and that it is not a time for me to be, trying to take other people's power from them, and that's never really supported. But you guys know what I mean. I'm not going to keep rambling about that. So that you're having the moon, having the Wheel of Fortune reversed, bad luck could come from lower evolved water signs. That's your only issue, and just keep doing what you're doing, Sag. We're all watching. Again, round of applause for you. It's going really great. And I see you guys, again, having the more drive for romance, and maybe having a very strong drive for that. And it's okay right now. It's April time. Just be careful, be safe, all that kind of stuff. Don't let your urges take you to dangerous places. But at the same time, you're kind of protected in a way. but don't take me too seriously on that. It's just an energy that I feel. Anyway, great month for you guys. If you guys are looking to celebrate this month and shed any old skins, I did a guided meditation, which should be popping up on the screen any second now. Here you can also book a private reading with me if you would like some specific individual clarification on your own experience, or you can subscribe to my channel, and I'll be so grateful. I love your likes, your comments, your subscribes. I love talking to each and every one of you, and thank you guys so much for making this channel be what it is. I couldn't be what I am right now if it weren't for you guys, and I love you so much. Talk to you in May. Bye now.